This week on the Halo News Recap, I give you all the details on the Halo 4 Global Championship, including prize money, how to enter, and how to win. I cover everything to do with Halo at RTX this weekend, including panels, signings, and some important community booths. MLG President Michael Sepso has some interesting information about Microsoft Store tournaments. Hello, welcome to the Halo News Recap. I'm your host, Minolta1034. You might notice that I'm no longer wearing my glasses. That's because, and I know how this sounds, I lost them in a river. I'm going to start things off with all the details on the Halo 4 Global Challenge. The Halo 4 Global Challenge is an FFA tournament that 343 and Virgin Gaming are hosting that's going to take place over pretty much the entirety of the summer. It kicks off in person this weekend at RTX, but the online portion of the tournament doesn't start until July 15th. The tournament will run for about 5 weeks and then culminate at the end of August with a big in-person final tournament. It's probably going to take place at PAX, as they've said that it's in Seattle and at the end of August, and we all know that the only real thing going on in Seattle at the end of August is PAX. Now here's the big news. We knew that this was a $500,000 tournament in total prizes, but the first prize is $200,000. That's right. Play Halo all summer, win $200,000. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. All right, let me take you through the in-person events. Now, first off, these in-person events are separate from the online tournament, but that doesn't mean that the two are exclusive. You can participate in person and online if, you have the stamina to do so. What's going to happen is that over the course of the summer, 343 is going to host a few in-person events at various conventions, like the first one that's kicking off here at RTX. The top players at the in-person events will all qualify to move on to the semifinals that are taking place at the end of August in Seattle. As I said before, the first in-person event takes place this weekend at RTX. It's important that you register online now at the Halo Waypoint site. I'll put a link to the registration form in the description of the video. For registering in the in-person events, you get an awesome limited edition t-shirt. The final matches will be broadcast on Sunday from 2 to 5 Central Time. Bravo, Ghost Ayami, and Golden Boy will all be on hand to commentate on the gameplay. The online portion of the tournament doesn't start until July 15th, but you can register now. As I said, there's a link in the description if you want to go ahead and do that. And don't forget, after you register, you will receive an email, and that email will have an avatar code for both male and female UNSC uniforms that you can use. So, how does this tournament work? On July 15th, the tournament opens, and what that means is that there's going to be a special playlist in Halo 4 that's just for the tournament. What do you have to do to win? You just have to play some free-for-all in that playlist. Each week, the game type and maps are going to change, and the leaderboards are going to be reset. You have to play at least 20 games in 1 week in order to qualify to be on the leaderboards, as well as to qualify for the weekly draw prizes. I'll tell you more about that later. The leaderboards will be determined by how well you do over the course of the entire week of playing. There's no limit to how much you can play, but you have to play at least 20 games in order to be entered into the tournament for that week. Players will receive points as follows. It's an inverse scoring method that allows the top player in the game, the person who took first place, to receive 8 points. The person in last place gets 1 point. If you quit, no points for you. So don't quit. However, because this is an online tournament, 343 understands that there are network issues and other things to work around. They've promised that they've done everything they can on their end to make sure that network connections are stable and that you're not being kicked out of games. However, the reality of the world will never stop people from getting kicked out of games, so you have 3 quits each week that will be excused from your total score. If you quit more than 3 times, then the 0 points will affect your average. But if you quit or you're booted or whatever other reason, for the first 3 times it won't count against you. That also means that if you have network problems, you should keep close track of when you're quitting, if you're being booted, so that if there is a problem, 343 can address it and you can tell them exactly what's going on. At the end of the week, 343 is going to take everyone who registered in the tournament and look at all of the games they played that week. You had to have played at least 20, but if you played 100 or 1,000, it doesn't matter. They're going to take all of those games and look at your points for each game and average it all out. So they'll take the number of games you played and divide it by the number of points you earned. The top 4 players each week will be entered into the semifinals at the end of August, but everyone who plays at least 20 games in the playlist and, of course, is registered for the tournament online will be entered for the weekly prize draw. The online portion of the tournament runs for 5 weeks. Each week, there's a different map and game type that's going to be played. There's a few different ones, and I'll list them all here for you. Week 1 is from July 15th to the 21st. The game type is Infinity Rumble. Custom loadouts are enabled. However, personal ordnance has been modified to be grenades only. Instant respawn has been disabled, so you'll have to wait the traditional 5 seconds before you respawn. Week 2 is from July 22nd to the 28th. There are 3 game types that week: SWAT, SWAT BRs, and SWAT rifles. Week 3 is from July 29th to August 4th. Game types included that week are Rumble Pro FFA and Slayer BRs. Week 4 is August 5th to 11th. Game types included that week: Free-for-all King of the Hill, Free-for-all Oddball, Human Slayer, Covenant Slayer, and Forerunner Slayer. Week 5 is August 12th to 19th. The game type included that week is Legendary Rumble, although the specific settings haven't been announced. There are also some universal settings that will be applied throughout the entire tournament, and those are max party size, 1 player. Can't play with your friends in this tournament. Only 8 players per match. That's the maximum number. Party recycling is going to be disabled, as well as join in progress. 343 also said that they would be checking everyone's scores and constantly monitoring for anyone who's cheating, network manipulating, or anything else. So the winners each week won't be announced right away. 343 has to comb through their service records and make sure that they legitimately won that week's tournament. The prize amounts for this tournament are pretty crazy, guys. Listen to this. First prize, $200,000. Boom, right there. That's a lot of cash. Second prize, $75,000. Still, not too shabby, right? Third prize is $10,000. Fourth prize is $5,000. Fifth prize is $4,000. The 6th and 7th place prize is $3,000. And 8th place is $1,000. However, all of that totaled up is only equal to $300,000. There's another $200,000 in weekly draw giveaways. So even if you're not the best guy out there, register for this tournament. Just play 20 games of FFA and you could be entered to win awesome prizes. They have $200,000 worth of stuff to give away over 5 weeks. So you're not going to be getting anything bad. You've got nothing to lose. So a few questions you might ask, like, how do I know if I was in the top 4 for the week? And for that, you will have to wait. You will get an email from 343 notifying you that you've been accepted into the semifinals, but it won't come right at the end of the week. Like I said, they have to check through everything to make sure that you're not cheating. The leaderboards for the tournament are only updated once every 12 hours. They said it's going to be at about noon and midnight, so 12 a.m. and p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's when you'll want to check to see how you're doing. Some people might say, oh, but what if I have a terrible match where I get last place and I only have 1 point? Should I even try that week to keep going? And the answer is yes. I mean, they average the total number of games, so you could just come back and play 50 good games and you'd be right back where you were. It wouldn't affect you that much. Plus, the other thing is that with the weekly prize draws, I mean, you have so much motivation to at least play those 20 games. Why wouldn't you do it? And if you're wondering, if you do win a prize, how do I get it? What do I do? There will be an email sent to you after the tournament has been completed. Moving on, let's talk about RTX. I've already told you about the What's Next for Halo 4 Summer 2013 panel that's taking place at RTX. It's on Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Central Time in the main ballroom. Now, if you can't get to RTX like me, you're really sad and disappointed, don't worry, you can check it all out on the official Halo Waypoint Twitch TV channel. I'll put a link to it in the description. As I said before, Frankie, BS Angel, Bravo, and a bunch of other really cool people are going to be there. Steve Young from Certain Affinity is going to be around, and I'm hoping he's going to tell us about an upcoming map pack of some kind. And other than that, they've said that there are going to be some special guests as well, so who knows who you'll see. You'll have to tune in to find out. And don't think that I won't be covering this panel in next week's Halo News Recap. Depending on what's released, I may even do a special video the day of or the day after it comes out. You'll just have to watch and find out to see what's going on. And the Halo panel isn't all that's going on at RTX. There's also going to be a Halo panel signing from 2:30 to 4 Central Time on Saturday, right after the Halo panel. And that'll be taking place at the Halo official store booth. So head on down to get all of your cool stuff signed by a ton of really awesome 343 people. And if you don't have any cool stuff, Halo official store. Did I say that? Yes, I did. They're going to have all the awesome stuff from the Halo Waypoint store for sale at RTX. So look forward to that because The stuff that they have there is amazing. They have so much cool stuff. Go check out the store right now. Buy something. They're all awesome. I've never gotten a bad product from that store. And in case you're wondering, the official Halo store booth number is 224-A. And don't forget about other important Halo communities that are going to be at RTX. Ready Up Live couldn't be there this year, but Griffball Hub is there. The 405th Infantry is also going to be around, so make sure to go check out their booths as well. They're awesome communities full of awesome people. Finally, some interesting news from Michael Sepso. Now, who is Michael Sepso? You might know, but if you don't, he is the president and co-founder of MLG. Now, at MLG Anaheim recently, Michael gave a little bit of insight into what MLG is going to be doing with Microsoft when the Xbox One launches. On a press tour, Michael mentioned that there was going to be a bunch of new Microsoft stores opening over the next couple of months to support the release of the Xbox One. And what Microsoft wants to do once the console has come out is partner with MLG to do weekly leagues and tournament play at the Microsoft Store. We don't really know a whole lot beyond the fact that they are working together to do this. However, it is an interesting idea, and it really could boost the credibility and the awareness of competitive gaming and specifically console esports. Let's hope by the time the new Halo game rolls around that they have some specific lands just for it. Well, that's it for this week, guys. This is a glassesless Minolta 1034 saying thanks a lot for watching. I want to know if you guys are registered for the Global Challenge yet. If you haven't, I highly recommend you do. And if you have, do you think you've got what it takes to be a champ? Are you going to be ripping it up in there? Or are you just hoping to snag one of the weekly prizes? Let me know in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'm Minolta 1034, and I will see you next time. The reason this is interesting is it could be a positive sign for the existence of games like Halo 2 Anniversary. If they're patenting this technology, that means that they want to control it because they want to use it in the future. Now, of course, any big company patents everything ever that they could ever find because it just makes sense to do that. It's interesting because this follows an IGN article that came out just a couple